Now we'll take a look at how the decorator pattern works in overview, and you see how the problem was you had a computer class with a description that said you're getting a computer, and that was then changed to, the computer class was then changed to have a description method that said you're getting a computer and a disk, and then you had to edit the computer class's description method once again to say you're getting a computer and a disk and a monitor and so forth. I can go on forever. And so the decorator pattern comes into play here. The idea is that you start off with the computer class and its description method. This description method is quite simple. In this case, you just say you're getting a computer, and what happens when you want to change that to add, for example, add a disk, you can then pass the computer object to a disk wrapper. And the disk wrapper is going to have its own description method. That description method is going to add the text and a disk to the description method. The description method's return value from the computer class. So this description method is going to say you're getting a computer. This description method calls that description method and adds to the end of the text and a disk. So you see the idea here. The decorator pattern adds a wrapper class. And so what you do is you have a computer object, you pass a computer object. If you want to add, for example, a disk to the person's computer setup, you pass that computer object to a disk object. The disk object acts as a wrapper, and in the description method, it calls the computer class's description method, which returns you're getting a computer and adds to it and a disk. So that's the way that the decorator pattern works. And once again, you can also, if you like, add another level. You can pass the disk object, which now encloses the computer object, now wraps the computer object. You can pass the disk object to a monitor object, which is going to act as a further wrapper, have its own description. So the monitor object is going to support a description method that will call the disk description method, and the disk description method in turn will call the computer description method. So this computer description method is going to return you're getting a computer. This is going to append to that text, you're getting a computer, append to that text and a disk. This further wrapper is going to then append to that text and a monitor. So you're getting a computer from this description method and a disk from this description method and a monitor from that description method. So you see that's the essence of the decorator pattern. What the idea is quite simple. It allows you to add functionality to various methods by supporting wrapper classes without having to modify or edit your code. So in this way you can put together your computer system just by passing the computer object to various wrapper classes which add functionality to that class's description method in this case. So that's the essence of the decorator pattern. It allows you to use a set of wrappers to customize or decorate, as it's called, the functionality from an original class. So let's see this at work in terms of code coming up next.